Okay, Matrix, we are going to be doing part 2 of the civil drawing for November 2023's past paper. And we're going to start off by drawing the elevation. So I do apologize if you guys have been a little bit frustrated with just how long it's taking. Unfortunately, I've been a bit busy on my side. So I will try to have this uploaded all as soon as possible because I know that you're writing on the 29th of October. Which at the time of filming is tomorrow. So let's just get started. So we obviously went through the complete floor plan, which is in the previous video if you haven't seen that video. And now we have to do the complete northeast elevation. So it says, show the following features on the drawing: the outside walls, windows, sliding door and step detail, the roof detail including the fascia boards, barge board, gutters and rainwater downpipe, as well as the finished floor level. And you will see everything that you'll see here is part of the elevation. Okay, so you will also have the incomplete front step and sidewall detail given to you for your convenience of drawing the image. Okay, so we're going to just start by drawing up the most obvious, and that is by bringing up all the wall lines that you can obviously see here onto the paper. So we're going to start off by having this wall brought up. We don't obviously need to bring up the interior walls, this part of the steps, this part of the steps, and you will actually need the thickness of these steps as well. So we're going to bring those up. Then we're obviously going to have the end of the wall over here brought up. And then from there we are going to have the exterior wall brought up as well, just like that over there. And we will obviously bring the doors and windows up at a later stage. Okay, so now that we have got that there, we're obviously going to bring up the roof lines as well. So we have got this roof line here, this roof line here, and this roof line here, which we'll bring up just for the meantime. What we also want to do is we want to get the total height of where the roof line actually starts. Ooh. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to divide the measurements that I have just crossed out by 50, because obviously our scale is still to a scale of 1 to 50. So we're going to be saying 27 and 2,750, not 27, divided by 50 will give us a length of 55, which is 5.5 centimeters. So in order to draw that in, we are going to measure 5 and 0.5, so that will be right over there, which will be where it starts. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now draw a light little construction line going across the paper over here, as you guys can obviously see. So now that we've got that in, we are going to look at the measurements given to us for this incomplete northeast elevation. You can see that it stops right here at the wall before we actually even start the roof. This obviously gives us space for all of our gutters, etc., etc. So it says here we've got 150, so we're going to divide that by 50. That will obviously give us 3. 100 will give us 2. So we've got 3 times 2 gutter on the fascia board. So this piece at the back is actually your fascia board with the gutter going around it. If I do find an image of what that looks like on the internet, I will put it up on screen for you just so that it can help you visualize what we're actually looking at. So that will be 4 and 20 millimeters divided by 50 will give us 0.4. Okay, so we're going to start off by drawing that in. So we know that we're going to start off by drawing in the outline of the fascia board, which will be a length of 4. So I apologize if you guys see bits of my head and things like that. Sometimes it's very difficult to see what exactly I'm drawing, because this board is so far away from me to reach the camera. But anyways, I'm going to try to keep my head out of the image so that you can obviously see what we're working on. So there we've got a length of 4 drawn straight across. Again, just a light construction line for the meantime. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the gutter length, which will be 150. I'm just trying to think this through, times 200, so that'll be 3. So in the middle we will have a length of 3. So I'm going to try not to get my head in the way. Actually, let me just pause while I do that so that my head, because it's going to be in the way, and then I'll show you what it should look like. Okay, you will see I've made some really light dots. So what I'm going to do now is lightly draw the exterior lines and make sure this just goes slightly over the edge of the roof line, because it is going to need to be slightly over the roof line, just like that over there. Okay, now that we've got our lines, we can start off by drawing things solid for a change. So we're going to start off, we've got 2, so we're going to measure 2 from the edge of the roof line. I'm going to make 2. Then we're going to start off by doing this line here, followed by another 2, another 2 from the edge of this roof line here. So you're going to measure 2 on your ruler, make a line, and then you're obviously going to draw that in. And then we're obviously going to have 2 at the edge over here of this roof line. And we'll obviously draw that in. The other lines will be right at the edge of the roof line, so just going to draw those in very quick, just like this over here. Okay, with that being done, I'm quickly going to draw all of these lines solid. I'm going to do that quickly off camera, and then once we're done, we'll continue. Okay, you'll see that it now looks like this. Super neat and tidy so far. And now we're going to move on to the rest of the roof. The reason being, obviously, because it's easier just to get the roof done and dusted out of the way so that we do not need to worry about it any further. So we're going to start off with that. And we've got what it says, let's just find our roof pitch. We have got a 20-degree roof pitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your protractor, which I don't have, so let me go fetch mine. Okay, so you're going to take your protractor. We obviously know we have got a 20-degree roof pitch, so you are going to measure from your roof here a 20-degree pitch. Obviously you'll line that up, you'll measure 20 degrees, which is here, and we had to measure from this point as well. 20 degrees would be here. Okay, we know that 20 degrees needs to meet up in the middle here, so that is what's going to help us. So what we are going to do is we're going to just lightly from this angle here draw a 20-degree pitch. That looks a little bit funky, but let's just have a look see. Whoopsie. Okay, got 20 degrees, and I'm just thinking, should the 20 degrees be from that point? I think it should be. Okay, I took my 20 degrees a bit low, so let's do this again. I'm going to go 20 degrees from here, from the top, so my apologies for that. I'm changing it just because it looks a little bit funny to me. So we're going to do that again, 20 degrees and 20 degrees. Thankfully it's not too different. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to measure to that line over there, and from this line through to here, and it meets perfectly in the middle. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to measure 1 millimeter on either side here and draw that in. So that's going to be very difficult to show on camera. So basically I'm just going to take this middle point quickly, measure 1, 1, one on each side and then draw those thick. So I'm going to quickly do that off camera. Okay, perfect. So now that we've got that, that is great. But what we also have is a wall from the side over here. It's going flat, so we need to obviously find that point. So we're going to bring that point, which lands here, up onto your roof. This over here. And then from there, we're going to go backwards onto this roof here. And then we're going to have 2 lines to put in. The first one will be the fascia board, which will be about 2 mils on this side here. Okay. I'm going to draw that in. Going to draw that in. And then we've obviously got our mill at the top as well, which I'm going to measure and then draw in quickly. Okay, so now that we've got our roof done, that is excellent, because if you have a look at your northeast elevation, you get marks for your roof and your rainwater downpipe. So if you want to make sure you get all of your marks and the roof is a place you know you can get your marks, let's just add in the rainwater downpipe so that you may get the rest of your marks as well. So we're going to start off by taking up the lines of the rainwater downpipe over here. Okay. We are going to just briefly take those up, and they should touch where your gutter line is. So we're going to just quickly draw in 2 lines like that. Okay, and then we are going to have to find, obviously we've got our ground line, and your rainwater downpipe needs to be 1 millimeter above the ground line. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure 1 mil up. You're obviously going to have your circle, okay, and then we're going to draw in the rest of the rainwater downpipe. So over there and over there, and then we've obviously got this little bit in the middle that we are going to erase the rainwater downpipe. And just want to make sure, because I accidentally erased some bits and pieces on the side here. Okay, there we go. Now you've got your rainwater downpipe in. Okay, if you have a look at this side here, we've basically got no other parts or things happening by the wall. So if you want to draw that in now, you absolutely can. So we're going to draw that in. And then we have got the window, which we obviously now need to worry about. So we're going to bring the window up. Obviously, because the next part, okay, not necessarily the next part, we've still got the walls and steps, but we're going to just put the door and window in. So we're going to do window over here. Okay, we do actually need to get our step in first, and the reason why is because the height of our door will be the height of our window, and because our steps go up, we know that we are going to have to get the steps in to find out where the finished floor level is so we can get the door in. So I hope I'm making sense with that, but if not, don't worry, you'll see what I mean right now. So we're going to start off by taking the front step and side wall detail. So first of all, we've got this measurement here, which we're all going to have to divide by 50, so that's 22. And we don't need to worry about the thickness, we do need to worry about the heights. So we've got 300 in total, so 300 divided by 50 gives us 6, which means that we will have a step length of 3 each. So we'll have 3 at 3. Then we've got 650, so 650 divided by 50 gives us 13. And then obviously from the front step, we've got a full height of 800, so divided by 15 is 16. Okay, so we are now going to get our step drawn in. So we're going to take the height first, which will be 22. Okay, there we've got 22. And we obviously have the height from the ground, which will be 13 plus 6, so that gives us 19. Be over there. If you're not 100% sure what I'm talking about yet, don't stress. As I draw it in, it should make sense when you compare it to the picture that we've got. So we've got that step over there and that step over there. We've got a step up here as well as a step up here. Okay, then we have got these sidelines, which we can absolutely draw in. And then we've got to draw in the steps before we can draw in these lines here. So we've got the first step, which we know will be 3, the height of 3. So we're going to have full height of 6. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 over here. Okay. Once we've got that in, we can start by drawing in our first step. Okay, that's the first step. And this will be our second step. Okay, from there we're obviously going to draw in part of the step as you see in the picture, just like you see over here. Okay, now we're going to move on to obviously just to answer the rubric that we've been given here. We've got the roof and rainwater downpipe, which we've obviously put in. We've got the walls and steps. So we've got the steps, we've got one wall, but we obviously need to add in the rest of the walls, which will be pretty easy because the rest of the walls will be this wall over here, as well as this wall over here. Okay, so there we go. You should have that nice and clean. Actually, this is a bit messy. My leads are going everywhere, but nice and neat line work. Okay, now we obviously want to get the sliding door in. So we're obviously going to have to change these measurements here. So we've obviously got 2 fit, which means we'll bring it up from the floor plan. But just to grab the rest of the measurements, we've got 600 divided by 50, which gives us 12. We've got 2050 divided by 50 will give us 41. And then we've obviously got notes here. So we've got part of the sliding door. There's an opening side, a fixed panel, all frames are 50 millimeters thick, and so that means we'll have a thickness of 1. And then we've got a 200 by 25 of cement sill under all windows. Okay, so just noticing here, I didn't pick up on this during the first time I drew. We are going to have to draw that into here. So I apologize if I threw you off, but I'm going to just quickly show you how we fix that. My apologies. Okay, let that be a lesson. Let me set an example of a lesson. That when you're going through your questions, be very, very careful of how you look at things so that you don't have to fix drawings once they've been already drawn in. So we're obviously going to quickly fix this as we will need it for our door. So I apologize for that, but if you did notice it before I did, then that is actually really great. Okay. Gotta just make sure we keep these nice. Okay, then we've got 600, which we know goes to 12. So from here we are going to measure 12 very quickly. Hello my boy. Okay, there's 12, so we're going to quickly draw that in. Yes, my sweetie, I see you. Come here. Come, sit. Okay, so you can see obviously there's my sliding door part in there. Now we're going to do the middle part of the door real quick. Just like this over here. And then we're going to just quickly halve that as we do normally when we have a sliding door. So we'll have a half here and a half here. And then we just move the cat, otherwise how are we going to continue our work? Okay, so now we can bring up everything that we needed from our door that we fixed it. So you can see it's fixed over there. Now we're going to bring it up. No, you stay there, baby. You are doing great. Okay, so we're going to bring the sliding door up. Obviously, it's said to fit. So let's just bring that up a little bit more. We're going to have height over there. Obviously, the height in the middle of our sliding door as well. So that will be about over there. The end of the sliding door. And then our window. Okie dokie. Why does that seem so skew? You could stay where you are, my baby. You don't have to move. Okay, my steps are slightly off, so I'm going to adjust that quickly and then we will continue. Okay, all fixed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the height of the door, which is 41. I'm obviously not going to show you the paper just because I'm going to be reading the measurements to you. So we've got 41, which is kind of perfect. And then we're going to bring that line across the door as well as across the window. Okay, and now that we have got that measurement in, we're going to start drawing the sliding door. So obviously we know there are line thicknesses of 1 going all around. So we're going to grab thicknesses and then thickness over here. And obviously at the bottom and the top as well. So we're going to have 1 and 1. So if we have to draw these in neatly, just do it as light construction lines first, and then you can obviously do the thicknesses as other lines at a later stage. Okay. We also know that we've got the middle of this window's got 2 panels. My sweetie, you can't sit here. You can't. Come. Go back. You're right here by me. You can just lie there, baby. Good boy. Okay. So now we've got 20. I love you, my sweetie. Okay, we've got 20. So we're going to do the thickness of 1 over there, which you've just seen me do. And then we've got thickness over there. And then we'll obviously have the thickness at the bottom. So once we've got all of these thicknesses in, we're going to quickly draw in the doors and windows. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, you can see we have got that over there. This is really messy, so if you want to avoid getting smudges like that, you can either clean your equipment before you write, which does help, or you could buy a better lead that doesn't break as easily, because that will obviously help you to have a neater drawing. Or you could use baby powder just a little bit on your drawing papers before you draw to make it neater. Okay, now we're going to have our arrow in the direction of where the door opens, so that will be over there. As you can see, it is on your picture over here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly find the door or the window for window 1 over here. So we're going to quickly change these measurements so we can draw that in as well. So we've obviously got 30. Okay, we've got 500 divided by 50 gives us 10. And 1,200 divided by 50 gives us 24. Okay, so now we are going to put everything in. I'm just going to read the measurements as I draw them in. So we have got 24 going down. Okay, there we go. We've got 24. and we have also got 10. Okay. 10. And then once again, we're going to measure 1 mil around all of the frames, which I'm going to do off camera. And then obviously once I'm done, I'll show you the finished product and then we'll continue. Okay, window is done. The last thing we need to do is the opening. So they obviously indicate which will be the opening window by labeling it A or B. And A is obviously an opening panel, and then they give you where it opens. And then the last thing we need to do is we're going to need to put in the finished floor level and label it finished floor level, which is a really easy step. So we're going to start off by taking the height of these steps over here, and we're going to use that as our guideline for our finished floor level. Okay, and then got F, our finished floor level, and that is your northeast elevation complete. Obviously I've got a lot of smudging and I apologize for that, and in the next video we'll do a section. So I hope this helped you guys, and I'll obviously see you guys in the next video.